Hey, it's mrandom101, and today I have another Japanese manga haul. This time around, I have a bunch of general pickups from ongoing series that I am keeping up with, and there also are a few new things, so let's just jump in and explore. Okay, starting off with the two newest volumes from Kaiju 8. Really cool covers as per usual, and let's see, let me show you some of the color pages. This guy is a real hottie. I like him a lot. And let's see. Basically, if you are in the mood for a really just fun, action-packed kaiju shonen manga, give this series a try. Next, we have Volume 3 from Dandadan. This is a very just incredibly fun, fresh, action, supernatural, sci-fi shonen manga. And it's very crazy, very unhinged. The artwork is just all around excellent. Give this a try if it sounds interesting to you. Next up, we have volumes 25 and 26 from Tokyo Revengers. We have my boy Draken looking just awesome with this outfit on the cover and this cool silver effect. Under the dust jacket, we have this. I'm not going to show any of the artwork since I do not want to spoil stuff. We have this awful guy. But I will show all of the promo pamphlets that were included since it's kind of fun to just see what is being promoted right now. Okay, this one just has all of the new fresh rom-com manga from Weekly Shonen Magazine. Okay, this is Shangri-La Frontier, which I have not read yet. Windbreaker, which I really enjoy, and I do have some volumes that I will show off in this haul later. The sequel to The Seven Deadly Sins, and I'm not sure what this is. It's actually not that common to have so many just big promo ads within volumes, but Tokyo Revengers is very big right now, so I guess that's why we have so much stuff here. We have this character showcase for Blue Lock. Awesome. And this is the new manga from the author of Days. I have not read it yet, so can't really talk too much about it. Again, this new manga from the author of Days. It seems like a samurai story. More Windbreaker. More Blue Lock, which I love to see. Hell yeah. This is a very popular series at the moment, so I don't think I need to really introduce it that much. I will say, if you are looking for an exciting time loop action delinquent manga, then give it a try. Next up we have Volume 17 from Blue Lock. I just really love this series. It is a very just groundbreaking, action-packed sports manga. It is unlike anything else you will ever come across from this genre. The artwork is also just amazing. And give this a try if you are looking for something new and exciting to get into. Next up, we have volumes 1 and 2 from Ottoman, which has quickly become one of my favorite new weekly seinen manga. And no, this manga is not related to history or the Ottoman Empire in any way. The title is basically a play on words, it's a pun. Otto in Japanese means husband, and you combine that with man, you get Ottoman. It's meant to be a superhero name. Basically, he becomes husbandman, and you know me, I love me a good husbando, and he is great. This manga has such a refreshing, just dynamic going on here because these two over here, they are a married couple. I cannot even begin to describe how unbelievably wholesome their relationship is. Like, oh my goodness. Okay, this is like the back. And for this volume, by the way, her name is Yuka and this is Soya. Unfortunately though, the manga is not just wholesome and comfy at all times since the story is actually pretty intense. The world is being invaded slowly but surely by a bunch of really just insanely dangerous aliens that are very hideous. And as you can see, this manga is also very violent at times. It's very action-packed and exciting. In a way, this manga is kind of like a combination of Parasite and Kaiju 8. Basically, you have these two getting mixed up in trouble with aliens. Yuka's life is in danger as she gets attacked by one of these crazy alien creatures, and some stuff happens in between, and he gets some interesting alien powers which allow him to basically transform into kind of like a tokusatsu inspired looking hero, as you can see here. What's really amazing about this is how he gains power. The alien that he is collaborating with grows more powerful with positive emotions. So the way that he powers up is simply by thinking about how much he loves his wife. Literally, he is using the power of love to just kick some ass and just smash these aliens. I'm not sure if I even need to say much else. That's all you really need to know. And I just recommend jumping into this series, and I guarantee you that you're gonna have a good time. Man, I just really hope this manga survives and doesn't get canceled, because I have become so attached to these two. They are just such an amazing couple. Okay, now for some more seinen greatness from the same magazine. We have volume 2 from Kurogane no Valhallian. We have my husbando on the cover looking great, and this is a just super amazing action-packed manga about a bunch of like immortal warriors from different time eras clashing it out. The artwork in this is just chef's kiss. Yeah, if this sounds exciting to you, then give this a try. It is quite something else. We have volume 4 from a very charming adventure fantasy manga that runs in Jump Plus at the moment. Here is just some of the artwork. This manga has a super interesting power system where people use gems or semi-precious gems to kind of manifest different abilities, and the story is fun, the characters are cool, the setting is like Asian inspired, so yeah, this is a mix of a lot of cool stuff, and I wanted to just support this. Next up, we have volumes 4 and 5 from Sakamoto Days. Holy crap, this cover is sickening. Just look at this. And volume 5 also has a great cover. This manga somehow just flawlessly manages to mix in absurd, like gag comedy moments with insanely intense and violent action scenes. Like, the story is getting more interesting. I'm getting more invested in all of the characters as I get to know them better, and the action just never disappoints. And you basically have a bunch of assassins just clashing it out. You know, I do recommend this if you want something kind of just fresh and interesting and just different. I did mention before on my channel that I was having a hard time getting into a lot of these newer Weekly Shonen Jump manga serializations after 2018, but this one has me hooked, and I hope to see it become a big success. Okay, volumes 4 and 7 from Tougen Anki. This was not in stock last time, so I think that's why I didn't show it off in a previous haul. Okay, and volume 7. This manga is just a dark fantasy battle shonen manga that uses really just interesting power systems. One of the power systems relies on blood, and the other one relies on bacteria. If you read the manga, it makes a lot more sense, but yeah, if you just want something with kind of an edgy vibe to it with really good artwork, and if you just enjoy seeing creative powers being used in shonen manga, then I recommend giving this a try since it's super fun. Next up, we have volumes 4 and 5 from Windbreaker. This is a weekly, like, delinquent themed manga, but it also mixes in just comfy vibes that come from just school life and slice of life elements. The manga takes place in a small town, and you know, you have this tightly knit community of people that just know who most of these young people are, and they're generally just supportive of the youth. Basically, most of the characters in this manga are just nice people and they want to help other people, but you have other youngsters from other areas of town, let's just put it that way, and they have different ideals, and maybe they seek out power, or they just like fighting, and that's how you have a lot of clashes happening. The artwork in this is all around excellent, and I love the character designs. Next up, we have volume 1 from a Lupin III Isekai manga, more specifically, Lupin III Neighbor World Princess. You basically have the super iconic cast from Lupin III getting isekai'd into, you know, just a typical fantasy setting, and a lot of just crazy stuff kind of like ensues from that. goddamn Jigen looking fine, my husbando. It's so baffling to think that this even exists in the first place, and somehow it kind of works beautifully. There kind of is a sub-trend in isekai manga where you have iconic characters from other big franchises getting isekai'd, and I think it's going to become more pronounced as time goes on, so we'll see how things develop. I don't think there's that much that I need to say about this. It has a charming art style. It's not for everyone, this art style, but I quite enjoy it, and I just really love Lupin III, so it's exciting to see the characters just getting thrown into a fantasy setting like this, and the fantasy characters that get introduced are super fun. I surprisingly really had a good time with this and enjoyed it. Next up, we have Volume 12 from Drifting Dragons, which is just one of my all-time favorite just adventure fantasy manga. This series is so creative and it never disappoints when it comes to its originality and all of the ideas that it presents. Basically, you have just a crew of people on a flying airship and they hunt dragons for a living. You get to explore so many different fictional civilizations with this series, and the artwork is just delightful. Just look at this. The characters are fun. You get to know each character kind of one by one as the story goes on, and I will always look forward to seeing just more of this, just this absolutely jaw-dropping artwork. These incredible just dragon designs and all of the clouds looking like this and just airships flying through a sea of clouds. I will always cherish this manga from the bottom of my heart for just being such a masterpiece. Next up we have Volume 9 from the delightful Shadows House. This is an incredible just suspense, dark mystery series. It has a very original idea and premise behind it, and I always look forward to just seeing what the story is up to. Really cool detail under the dust jacket, especially if you know what's going on in the story. This is the full-on cover, and let's see. This typically comes with a few color pages and stuff like that, so I don't really want to show too much of the artwork since I may spoil something, so I'll stop with that. Some more color stuff here. There you go. Next up we have Volume 6 from Mieruko-chan. This is also a dark mystery series. It has a heavy emphasis on horror and comedy, which is interesting. Under the dust jacket, we have this, which looks amazing. Here is the color illustration, and let's see if I can find an example of just some of the really crazy, just monster designs that this series constantly just shows off. I guess that's enough. This is a fantastic read. Next, we have Volume 8 from The Way of the Househusband. This is a super funny, just slice-of-life comedy manga. It's very episodic. Don't expect a story out of this because you're not looking in the right place, and I just love how consistently good and funny this manages to be. I will never get tired of these just super crazy facial expressions and the ridiculous, wacky situations that the main characters kind of get into. This is not for everyone, but if you are just in the lookout for a really interesting take on comedy and just gags, give this a try because it's really good. We have Volume 13 from The Record of Ragnarok. This is a super intense battle to the death manga between gods and humans, and let's see if I can show a little bit of the artwork without spoiling too much. I guess I'll just stop there. Next up I have the first fanbook for Kimetsu no Yaiba. I already have the second fanbook, but I decided to just add this to my collection as well since it contains, of course, all kinds of trivia and info. And to be honest, I mainly wanted to get this since it has the kind of prototype version of what would eventually become Kimetsu. Let's see. Yeah, just a bunch of stuff here. Okay, some color illustration galleries. A pretty good selection, actually. And okay, here is the prototype version. It's kind of hard to flip through this due to the way that it's laid out, but maybe I'll make a video showing this off more properly in the future. But yeah, under the dust jacket, we have the characters being just amazingly adorable. Love that. And on the back. And this also comes with a train ticket, which is a super cool detail. I love that. I have Volume 32 from Fire Force. The manga recently finished, and holy cow, the ending was very just unexpected. I can't get into details due to spoilers, of course, but the ending is such a nice homage to just fans of Atsushi Okubo in general, I guess. I'll just only show that. I don't want to spoil things, but this is a phenomenal dark fantasy battle shonen manga. And I also picked up the character book for Fire Force, and it's kind of like a fun little item to add to my collection. And, well, I actually mainly bought it due to like a silly thing that was included. I'll show that off in a moment here. Oh man, I just love the artwork in this series so much. Okay, it also has a nice color gallery here. Hopefully this gets like a proper art book. I would love to see that, but we'll see. Okay, this comes with kind of like a running joke from the series. It's a nude calendar that gets made in the universe of the manga with the firefighter departments, and how can I say no to this, you know? Like, I mean, like, come on. I gotta just appreciate the fan service or the man service, so enough said, I guess, and there you go. That's about it. But this also comes with, of course, information and the rough draft versions of the first chapter, I think, or the first 2 chapters, so that's also just really cool to have. I have the latest volume from One Punch Man. I will show off something cool with this volume later in, so I'll save that for later. Volume 8 from Spy Family. Just an all-around excellent manga. I love this to bits, and I'm looking forward to the anime. Hopefully it's good. Okay, and here's the color illustration. Wonderful. Next up we have volume 15 from Kemono Jihen. This is a dark urban fantasy battle shonen manga. It is really cool, and I love just in general the fashion sense. All of the characters look super cool in general, like their designs are top tier, and the way that they dress is just phenomenal. Next up we have this mini art book for the Kuroko's basketball manga. It's called Bright Colors, and this is a really just great art book if you are a fan of the manga for this. It has basically everything that you could want, and it's nice and compact, it's affordable. So yeah, I recommend looking into this, and I will make a proper just video on this on the channel later at some point. Next we have volume 4 from Dai Dark by Kyu Hayashida. As always, the volume has this really cool just plastic dust jacket that kind of plays around with the design of the cover, and let's see, of course the artwork is excellent as always. This is a really just intense, crazy space sci-fi exploration series done in Kyu Hayashida's very just gritty style. If you like Dorohedoro, definitely just look into this series because it's going to give you more of Kyu Hayashida's craziness overall. I do recommend this if you're in the mood for something wacky, different, and just dark. Dark adventures in space. Who doesn't like that idea? Okay, now I have volume 3, the final volume from Crazy Food Truck, and you know, this was a short-lived manga, but I'm happy that I was able to add it to my collection. Wow, this has quite the ending, so you better brace yourselves, let me just tell you that much. If you just like the idea of a weaponized food truck just creating a lot of chaos, then look into this. It's a short read, so yeah. Next up we have some Golden Kamuy, so volume 28. This is one of my favorite manga. It's a really just epic action historical series, and it's kind of heading towards its conclusion. Then I have the character guidebook for this. It also has, of course, a bunch of trivia and info about the characters. And let's see. You have a little bit of a color gallery here. I really hope to see like a proper art book for this manga. Maybe it's going to happen. And how can I say no to this? Hell yeah. Next, we have volume 3 from Even If the World Is Over, It's Fun to Live. I feel like the title is quite self-explanatory, and this is a delightful manga where you have cute characters trying to just survive in a very crazy world. I love all of the visual ideas from this. It's really a special read, and I always just treasure my time with this manga. I wish more people knew about it and cared about it, but you know, maybe someday people will kind of like learn to appreciate this for how cool it is. Next up, we have Volume 2 from Hiraeth The End of the Journey. This is a manga about coming to terms with death. It's very emotional. It does a very just great deep dive into the topic, and it's from the author of Our Dreams at Dusk, so you can basically expect excellence. The artwork is absolutely just gorgeous. It's very just stunning in every conceivable way, and yeah, if this topic sounds like something that you want to dive into a little bit deeper, and maybe you want to get some different insights or perspectives on the idea of death, then I recommend looking into this manga. Oh yeah, and this guy over here is a total hottie. Husbando material for sure. Okay, now we have Volume 3 from Shimeji Simulation. This is a super weird, trippy as heck manga. It's kind of like one of those series with cute girls doing cute things, but it's so surreal in its nature that it just gives you a very different vibe and experience from anything else from its genre, I guess. And it's from the author of Girls Last Tour. This is why it has such an incredibly charming art style, I guess. It mostly is a 4-komo manga, but it doesn't necessarily stick to that, as you can see here. If you want something unusual, give this a read. Okay, before ending this haul video, I did mention that there is something related to this One Punch Man volume that I wanted to showcase, and in my One Punch Man haul video, I did something similar. Okay, on the back side, it does not form a bigger illustration, but I just wanted to show this off anyway since it's a really cool detail, and thank you for watching the video. Bye.